Hello, my name is Christine and I run a vintage shop called Prima Treasures on Etsy. Today I wanted to talk about these gold encrusted vanity items, and I have a collection of them here on my table. Now, these were made by companies called Matson, Gildcrest, Stylebuilt, a couple of others, but they all have a very similar look. And what makes them kind of special is that they were actually decorated with 24 karat gold. So basically what you're seeing on this table is 24 karat gold designed items. They were sold mostly in the 60s and 70s, and they have a very distinctive look, very ornate. They were marketed as gifts for mothers and wives. They're very detailed, as you can see from looking at the different items I have here. Most commonly what you're going to find is perfume bottles, vanity mirrors, and various accents that would look good in a bathroom or bedroom setting, a vanity table, this kind of thing. The thing that I find most interesting about them is that they're still quite popular today. In fact, Matson is one of the most popular makers that I'm aware of who put these items out. And they're very collectible. They have a very attractive and distinctive look. That would be great for any, female who likes pretty things. And I qualify that because there are ladies who are not into this kind of ornate decor. But if you have someone in your life who does like this type of thing, this is a great gift item for them. Even just one piece can add a lot of class to your bedroom decor, your bathroom decor, whatever it is you're trying to jazz up. So one of the things I wanted to share about these types of items is that they can be very tricky to identify. And so I have a few examples here that I wanted to show just to give an idea of how challenging that can be. So this item right here is a perfume bottle, and I'm going to show you underneath it. Let's see if I can get the light on it just right. There you go. See that little tiny oval on the bottom? That's the mark. And it says, I believe this one is Stylebuilt. Yes, it is. So that little tiny button on the bottom is where it's marked. And then this is another example right here. If I can get the little stopper out of the bottle. The mark on this piece is right there on the leaf, which I'm sure you can't read, but it says Matson. And if you're not looking for it, easy to miss. Very easy to miss. It blends right in. It's on the back of a leaf. No one would ever just casually see it. So if you see a piece like this out in the wild, it really would be a great idea to look closely in little nooks and crannies, see if you can spot an actual mark, because most of these were made by that group of companies who put this sort of thing out. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about is more of a how-to. These items are generally 50 to 60 years old. And even if somebody didn't use them a lot, they can go through a lot. Just sitting in someone's bathroom, they get subjected to a good amount of abuse. Just sitting around collecting all of the various perfumes, hairsprays, things of that nature that are just flying around, makeup flying around in the air. They settle and they collect on these poor things. So you can see this one right here has a lot of dark coloring here. It's picked up a bit of a patina. And what I've found is very helpful for cleaning them is a toothbrush. Because you don't really want to damage it, and you don't want to take off, the obviously valuable gold plating. So if you just get a toothbrush, I usually just dry toothbrush them. I don't even put soap. But if you dry toothbrush in all these little nooks and crannies, it is a very good way of getting the obvious gunk and dust out of all the little holes without really hurting the item. So that's one of the things I wanted to share is if you see something that looks like it's kind of been through the ringer and it doesn't look so attractive, you can bring it back to life by giving it a nice cleaning with a toothbrush. The other thing that I wanted to point out, and I purposely brought in what I'm sure looks like a kind of broken, because it is broken, item is this perfume bottle. Now you notice when I had it sitting in here, this just looked like a lid. And actually, this is what it's supposed to look like. So I'm in the process of doing repairs. But this item is actually the holder that lets you pull the dauber out. This one is still working and it has the dauber still on it. But because this is broken, it gives me an opportunity to show a few things that are typically, let me put it back here where it's in the camera, there you go, that are typically problematic when you find these in thrift stores or whatever. A lot of times, the little glass dauber, and again, I should use this as an example, this piece will be broken off, missing, whatever. So there's that, and obviously you want it functional. And then sometimes the other problem I see most frequently is this glass vial is missing or broken. So if either of these things are damaged or missing, you can buy replacements for them. So that doesn't have to be a deal breaker. I mean, if you're buying it for display, then it doesn't matter. But if you actually wanted to use it and you were upset that it was missing the dauber or the glass vial, that is not a showstopper, because there's this little shop on Etsy where I have bought replacement parts. And you just glue them back in with super glue or whatever you have that you think is going to give you a good hold. And you get it back in working order again. So it's not the end of the world if those glass pieces are gone. You can put them back in, and it's not that difficult. And so that's why I'm rehabbing this one, because it actually has the glass parts, but the little dauber, this lid, is apparently come off, and so I'm going to probably put some adhesive on there and get it back on. The other thing I kind of wanted to show off, just to give an idea, everything on the table here is what I would consider more run-of-the-mill items. Items like this perfume bottle right here is the most common type of thing you would see. The other thing that's quite common are these standing mirrors, which people really like for their dressing table, or, you know, in their bathroom, bedroom dresser, this kind of thing. And then less often you see the ornate perfume bottles like this one that are just completely covered in gold. And this one has, I don't know if you noticed, cute little cherub right there. Finally, the picture frames that match are not as common to come across. But honestly, if you see any of these, they're worth grabbing, because they sell for $50 to $100 per item. And if you spot one out in the wild for $10, it's worth grabbing it. Even if you don't want it, save it for a friend of yours who does. But the last thing I wanted to share before letting you go is this piece that I inherited from my mother. Let me put that up there. This would be considered at the high end. Oh, and I'm having it rearranged to show it to you. That would be considered at the high end of the types of items you would find with this look. Now what this is it's a carriage, but it's actually a jewelry box. You can see the padding in here where you would put your trinkets and stuff. The whole thing is covered in gold, and it has what makes this more valuable than your average item is the beveled glass that you can see here. Sometimes you'll see items with clear beveled glass. This piece has colored beveled glass, which amps it up just a little bit more beyond the clear glass. And the fact that this one is figural instead of just kind of a plain square box, because it has the wheels and it looks like something, that also makes it more valuable. So this would probably be in the 100 to 200 category for a piece like this. And I've seen full-size jewelry boxes that are like a foot tall sell for $200 to $300. So obviously the bigger a piece is, the more valuable that makes it. But also, as I said before, this piece with all of the figural design definitely adds to the value. So these items are very unique. They are distinctive of the period in terms of, this is a classic mid-century look in terms of vanity items. And it's definitely an iconic look that there are going to be people who are seeking it out. So I will make a point to put some extra photos in with the description so you can get a better idea of the types of things that are out there. But if you have any interest in this type of item at all, this is a great area to collect in, or just add 1 or 2 pieces to your decor just to give a little extra pop.